What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. I know end of the month drama is normally what Chantal does, but this seems and feels totally different. There are so many different layers to what took place. There is so much spontaneity in her going and getting this kitten. But I would be remiss if I didn't say this is poetic justice. Maybe that's the name of the kitten, Justice the Kitten. She gave her cats away to go to Kuwait. And here she is taking a kitten to essentially create her ticket out. So during her live stream, which was only 30 minutes, it's now been deleted, the chat tells her that Bruce Lee, the kitten, has been found. And at first she is very happy. She wants to see. Then she goes over, she realizes that the posts actually directly relate to her begging for money and actually speak out against her and the donations that she had requested. The post states the mother, the kitten, have been rescued by a trusted team member, taken to an animal hospital. All medical expenses have been covered by Paul's Kuwait, and it further cites that anyone asking for donations is not associated with the team, and they are no longer asking or requesting for donations for this kitten. It also, and this is what Chantal did not want to see, says that the matter is under legal review and specifically cites action will be taken against those who use this case to collect unauthorized donations. Chantal reads this and says, so they've been rescued, but then claims the haters, quote, bombarded them to create this, quote, drama post. She then cites that she hopes the legal review is not relating to her, as she didn't do that. And I think we all know, you can go back and verify this is false. And the issue really isn't that she got an unspecified amount of money, that she spent the $50. It's the fact that she was asking for the money to start with. So clearly, she asked for money to keep the kitten in the beginning. You can also make, and I know some people will not like this, but you can also go back and build a case that she has a track record of asking not only for money to feed strays, but joking or not, they are not going to care about the context. She has also talked about asking money for Julia. As I said, context no longer matters. They are only going to look at, did she accept money to care for pets? I think we're also going to learn whether Julia was truly adopted or not, and whether Julia has papers or just came in off the street. She starts citing that this organization used her photos, which should honestly tell her she is the one that's in trouble for this, but she's almost gleeful, as if she has some type of claim based on the fact that they used her photos without her consent. She then says that she is not going to pay a dime, and it's just the instant defiance. She instantly transitions this into, I need to get out of this country, citing she was villainized for trying to help. She goes on to talk about one of her beezers being doxxed. I'm not going to support that in any way, but listen, anyone that starts a reaction channel, you simply can't expect that it's not going to happen. It comes with the territory at this point. Chantal then starts to argue a point of how is it illegal to take the cat. People said they would help with money. She goes on to compare herself to the organization, citing they're doing the very same things. Chantal, the difference is that one is an organization and you are you. They are properly equipped to handle this. You and Salah are not and were not. And to his credit, don't say that lightly, Salah begged you to not take this kitten. Every step along the way. From when you first picked it up and started walking to when you got in the truck. But you, Chantal, you remained defiant. She goes on to assume that people sent messages saying she was a bully. She goes on to say that, she was just using her platform to help and we sent the law after her. She then screams Canada Bees for life, that she can't stay somewhere where she apparently is going to be punished for helping a kitten. And, part of me thinks, broader picture, this whole experiment was coming to an end anyway, right? We know that the visa runs. We know they're getting more likely. Listen, she ran back to Kuwait after Salah and Kai Bella's situation took place. She forgave him. She moved on, okay? But now, in this position, without even knowing what, if any punishment awaits, she is just going to flee on the next flight? And she's not even going to go over this with him because he was texting the entire time. In fact, she starts screaming at him, citing that he's trying to silence her. And she only uses that to reiterate that she needs to leave. Says that she's tired of holding things in. She starts crying. She is essentially saying that Salah is, quote, giving her trouble during the stream and that she is, quote, out, saying that he is yelling at her for speaking her mind. The reality is he's very much impacted by this too. And he more than likely doesn't want her to make the situation worse, which is actively what she was doing. She then goes on to cite that she doesn't feel, quote, safe, saying the whole story. I don't know if that was in relation to just this or the whole broader picture with Salah, the marriage, all of these things. But I will say the reality is that nothing has really changed since she arrived on day one. Right? She's known the laws are different. She knows the culture is different. There was no reason all of a sudden today to wake up and realize, oh, I'm in a whole different country with a whole different set of laws. She says that she needs to regroup to talk about this. She, of course, goes back to the, quote, insane haters, and that she has to go home now. She said she didn't do anything wrong. What I find really interesting is you're so defiant. You are so clearly in the right. But the first thing you're thinking about is, well, I'm going to run back home. If you're truly in the right, why are you leaving the country? And are you so short-sighted to assume that they do not already have your name and information where maybe just going and getting on the next flight is going to be possible? She then says, probably more than she should have, that she messaged Paul's Kuwait the other day. They offered to help. She said that they seemed nice, and she offered to give them the donations. So that tells me that they were already aware, long before any, quote, hater contacted them, that Chantal had been doing this. And she says that she only got $7. She offered them the money, and they said, don't send it. We need to investigate. The entire time she is laying this out, Salah continues to demand her to please stop talking. I think that's going to be what's most interesting, is the dynamic of not just how Chantal gets impacted by this, because clearly, by her own admission, she just wants to run away from her problems, but how will Salah and his family be impacted by this? And why in the moment could he not control her enough to simply not take a kitten? It's a track record of him not being able to control what she has, what she demands, what she wants. All of this is unraveling. Conveniently, yes, at the end of the month, for drama, for views. But we also know there is a lot more external things going on than ever before. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching. And you know when Chantal is claiming that Salah is silencing her, so she has to go back to Canada, there is no way that I cannot be back soon as I can with more commentary.